So we're up. Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order. It is Tuesday, September 26, 2023. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Oh. Minutes and reports received and filed.
We have none today.
God, talk about me being tired and doing nothing. Commissioner Committee Liaison Reports, upcoming meetings and events.
Eastside Barbecue is tonight. Open house at Republic Services Friday. And I think that's all I've got for this week. I don't have very many meetings the last week. Yep, that's it.
On Wednesday, Midmo, a Regional Planning Commission meeting in Ashland. Thursday, is there a Thursday meet and greet with the new city administrator, or did I miss that last week?
No, we got.
Thursday meet and greet is on my
They're doing them
calendar.
individually.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
Maybe the week after
Yep.
next week.
I think mine was an individual invite too. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
Okay. And next Monday, St. Mary's Foundation. That's it.
Okay, well, tomorrow is Brian Ridenhour's birthday, so we need to celebrate. We'll shoot fireworks. Thursday, emergency management meeting at 1. Friday, Cap Region Board of Governors meeting. Get lunch at Central Bank too. And Saturday is the Oktoberfest in Old Munichburg. So go watch the Dachshunds. That's all I've got. Any commission comments? Bids and contracts. Unfinished business. Oh. New business, accounts payable review.
I will ask for accounts payable pending review.
Motion to approve accounts payable pending review.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Signing of contract with Feral Gas Propane Provision and Services.
This is just the signing of the contract with Feral Gas for propane services over at Public Works. It was awarded on the 12th.
We had only one response on that, is that right?
Yep.
Okay, good. Make a motion to approve and sign the contract with Feral Gas for propane provisions and services.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval and signing of contract extension with Digitech for EMS billing service.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we have reached the end of our 5-year contract with Digitech, who provides our third-party billing services. I engaged them earlier this summer about how they wanted to proceed. They have chosen to extend a 5-year extension to the current contract with no changes in terms. Just for your awareness, this is a little bit different than our normal procurement process because we do not pay them technically, and Jill and Jessica can probably touch on this a little bit more, but they provide billing services, they collect the revenue, they keep a portion of that revenue, and then pay us the remaining balance of our funds. So we do have a little bit different of a process to go through when bidding this out. So based on that, we did not have to go out to competitive bid. So we are happy with their service. It would be a logistical headache to move and continue under a new servicer. So with the no change in terms, I would recommend that we extend the contract with them for another period of 5 years.
Is the current contract the one that's expiring? Is that the first contract with this building?
Correct.
And you weren't here earlier, and neither was I, but my understanding is we're much happier with this building than we were with the prior vendor.
Yes, it was terrible.
They are very responsive. We've had some outside folks take a look at their billing practices to make sure that they are collecting everything that they can, and we're pretty happy that they are performing an adequate service.
Okay, yep, I'm good with it. If you're still happy with where you're at with it, so, okay. Make a motion to approve and sign the contract extension with Digitech for EMS billing service.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval and signing of addendum with Tyler Technologies.
Yeah, so back when we did our computer-aided dispatch project with the city at the beginning of the year, included in that project was a hardware interface or a software interface with the CAD system that we actually didn't need. So we had some conversations about how we were going to be refunded that, and we asked them to kind of hold that line item because we knew that we had another project coming. So as you recall, a few weeks ago, you approved the joint project with the city to use opioid money for automatic voice dispatch. This interface is needed to connect the computer-aided dispatch system to the radio system. So we've approached Tyler and asked them to use that placeholder, so to speak, and swap those two interfaces. There is a small fee associated with this just for the installation, and that's $3,925. The city will be paying a portion of that. But the interface in and of itself is about a $12,000 savings by them allowing us to swap this. So I just have the agreement which outlines all of the commitments there, and just asking that you approve that today.
Yep, it actually saved us some money, so.
Yeah.
It did.
That's a good thing.
And the $3,900 was included in the proposal that you all approved a few weeks ago, so. No additional expenses.
Okay, yeah, I thought I had it pulled up here.
While you're on the, do you want to talk about the emergency
Yep,
request?
I'll get to that
Okay.
as soon as you guys are done.
Okay.
You good, Harry?
Yes.
Okay. Make a motion to approve and sign the addendum with Tyler Technologies.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. If I could just cover an emergency item here that came up yesterday and we weren't able to publish on the agenda due to a tight timeline. I received a call yesterday afternoon from Callaway County Ambulance District. They were having mechanical problems with their fleet of ambulances, and they asked if we would be kind enough to lease them a ambulance to ensure that they had a backup in case they had further problems. We did some research and developed a lease agreement with them. They did sign yesterday and come pick up the ambulance. They will be maintaining all of the liability. They did pull insurance on it. There is a nominal fee for our preventative maintenance if they reach a certain milestone in mileage. But other than that, we sent them a empty ambulance and they'll be using that for a few days probably.
How long are they looking at using it? I forgot to ask you that yesterday.
What's that?
How long are they looking at using
It's
it?
unknown at this time.
Okay, so they don't have any idea when they're getting their other ones back.
They have some of their ambulances in the shops or shop.
Yep, so they actually had a leased ambulance from a vendor, and that leased ambulance had a mechanical issue, and then their other 3 or 4 ambulances were also having mechanical problems. So they have 3 frontline ambulances that they have in service, so ours is just a reserve in case something were to also happen, and then as soon as they get an ambulance back, they'll kick ours back to us.
Okay.
Is this the first time we've run into this?
I think it's the first time that we've run into it and that we've actually been able to, in a position to provide help. I don't think it's uncommon across mid-Missouri to have these problems. This is more of a symptom of the issue that we're having with emergency vehicle production and some of the other things that we're still recovering on out of the pandemic. A lot of agencies haven't been able to replace their fleet and are well behind on the curve. Thankfully, we have a good replacement plan, which is why we can help out. But I know that there were numerous offers to lend us ambulances, and I do believe we leased some ambulances from Osage Industries after the tornado when we had some issues as well. So not uncommon, just first time that we've been able to help out.
I'm just curious as to if it doesn't come up that often, so I guess it always could come to the commission, but we already have an agreement of, what's the term?
Mutual aid.
Mutual aid.
Mutual aid. Could the mutual aid agreement be expanded to include this
The
issue?
probably, I would say no, and the only reason why is because it's their personnel operating our equipment. So we want to make sure that we have some insurance and some liability drawn in the sand there. Mutual aid is when we're sending our people and our equipment. Always more than happy to do that, and we do that on a routine basis. But when it's somebody else operating our equipment, I think it's probably in our best interest to have some sort of agreement.
Okay.
Yeah, in 2019, we had a lot of ambulances from all over, and they were manned by their personnel, so, but, yeah.
So I do just have the lease agreement. It was signed by Director Anderson from Callaway. If you could just approve this and get this signed, I'll get a copy back to him.
All right.
All righty. Make a motion to approve the emergency ambulance lease
With
Callaway County Ambulance District.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Discussion of 2023-23 Ford F-550 truck for Public Works. Okay.
I've got the information for you. Back, the exact time escapes me, but it's been a month and a half ago or so, maybe a little longer. We had a truck that we had to take out of service and found one on a lot and went through a process of actually having to bid it out. And those bids came in a little higher than what we wanted them to be compared to what we had been quoted originally. And so the first item on the agenda is to reject that bid, correct?
Yeah, that's what Public Works is wanting to do. We received a bid for $72,785 from Joe Mawkins here in Jefferson City. That was higher than what they expected. And then in the meantime, the state contract has opened up to where we can use Joe Mawkins in Columbia to purchase the truck. I think I said in the email it was $68,000, but it's really $70,411. So there's some savings there.
So that is the second item on the agenda. And this truck will be an extended cab. The newer model Ford 550s, and this is a Ford 550 truck, and it'll be the same process of what we explained previously. We will purchase the bed and all the accessories to go with it and put that on ourselves. So this is just cab and chassis. These trucks, the newer model 550s, the cabs are a lot tighter. In addition to that, the equipment for operating the snowplow and the lift, it kind of gets in the way, so the extended cab will just allow more room. So it's about $2,000 more than what the single cab would be, but it's over $2,000 less than what that bid had come in that we had bid out that we're going to reject. So reject those bids and then vote to proceed with ordering it off of the state contract is what we're asking for.
I guess this is two motions.
Yeah, that's why I had it on the agenda as
Right.
two different items, because we needed to reject the bid and then accept to go with it on the state contract.
I'll make a motion to reject the bid tab 2023-23 for the 23 Ford F-550 Super Duty truck.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Then a motion to procure the truck through the state contract for $70,411.
Yes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then Sam can just sign that.
This one?
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Vehicle purchases for the sheriff's department.
But did you have both your vehicles? I thought you had two vehicles on.
It's the same.
It's same, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, if you'll, I've talked to all of you about this. We're wanting to use our money from 2024 capital improvements to go ahead and purchase vehicles this year. Law enforcement vehicles are harder and harder to get at this time. Landmark Dodge has state contract for law enforcement vehicles, and there's several sitting on a lot right now. And due to the availability and the current strike that's ongoing, we're afraid that next year would be even harder to get vehicles. We just got 2 Durangos in that we didn't get them in. They're supposedly at the dealership that we ordered 8 months ago. And I'm afraid next year it's going to be worse. There's 3 Dodge Chargers and 3 Durangos we want to purchase for a total of $237,000. We had $300,000 in our capital improvements for next year for purchasing of new vehicles. So I'd like to go ahead and use the $237,000 to purchase these 6 vehicles, and then put $63,000 or whatever's left over from that into our new vehicle request for decommissioning and upfit of these 6 vehicles. This is the last year, and on there, on your paper I gave you, it says 2024, but it's actually 2023 is the last year for the Chargers. For some time, they're retooling them. So this actually is advantage to us, because by buying these 3 vehicles, most of the equipment we have in the older Chargers will fit inside these newer ones. So that'll save us a little bit of money. And then again, I was just going to bring up that the Durangos, the last 2 Durangos we ordered, we just now, they came into the dealership. Maintenance cost goes up. We run about anywhere between 90 to 95,000 miles on these vehicles before we try to decommission them. Some of them are longer depending on where they're at in the fleet. Patrol Division usually puts in around 35,000 miles a year on a vehicle. So if we buy them new, they can last us about 3 years. We hope to get 3 years out of them, depending on everything that's going on with the vehicles. We'd like to get rid of them sooner, because, I mean, even the Highway Patrol gets rid of them now around 55,000, because they've discovered that predominantly the maintenance costs go up a lot higher after 55,000 miles. So, but there's no way we can get rid of them that early. So, but anyway, we're asking that we go ahead and adjust our budget next year, go down to 63,000 for new vehicles next year.
So we're getting away from sedans and going to SUVs?
Well, there's three Chargers and 3 Durangos.
Well, I mean, I know we still gotta be, but
I don't
we
know.
won't, yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna do on that. We're trying out, we had Explorers, Ford Explorers, those are getting hard to get. So it may go down to Ford Explorers and Durangos, I don't know. I like having sedans in the fleet, because they're predominantly, or usually, they're easier on gas mileage than what the SUVs are. But I just don't know what's gonna be available for us. There's some other law enforcement sedans out there, but the space, the room inside of them is not very good, so,
So we're actually taking delivery of these this year as well.
yes, sir.
So we're basically taking a hit on the budget this year. We're running into this with everything, though. I mean, we're
All the
ordering stuff for
vehicles,
Public
yeah,
Works.
Yeah, Public Works too.
So we kind of saw this coming, but I don't know. I'm just kind of the mileage part. If they're getting rid of them at 55,000, let's go buy some from them.
Well, the problem is, if we buy one for 55,000, it's only on the road for a year and a half, and then we're back to trying to buy something else. And it's about,
Unless you're having problems with it, I mean, I would try to stretch it out as far as we can.
Well, we
I understand
tried-
that you have to have dependable vehicles for this
that's,
stuff. You
yeah,
don't-
because we're driving over 100 miles an hour sometimes, so we want to make sure
Right.
that those vehicles are in top operating condition.
We're not supposed to drive over 100?
Not technically, but we'll talk about that
Really?
later, Jeff.
I was passing them.
We can't?
I'm just,
Yeah, you guys are just making me pull you guys over. You know that, right?
I was just teasing. I wouldn't
Yeah.
do that to you.
But we try to run the cars longer if we possibly can, but it really depends upon the vehicle. And, you know, sometimes you get a vehicle that does real good and we never have any issues, and other times we get a vehicle that's in the shop. We have one sitting in the shop right now with a blown cylinder. So,
Yeah, some of them you're just gonna have bad luck. I mean, like Callaway County's having right now. You just got bad
Right.
luck and you can't get the parts to fix them, so,
I
you know,
think
it's time to.
statistically, you're gonna have issues with engines and transmissions, so.
Tires, try to find tires right now.
Tires aren't too bad, but like right now, we have one that's, it's got a steering problem, but it's covered under the warranty. but due to the strike, they can't fix it. So it's just sitting there. It's sitting down in my basement waiting for them to get parts in, and they don't know when the parts are gonna come in because of the strike.
I'm going to put the auditor on the spot. Were you expecting that when the sheriff would turn in a draft budget for '24, that there'd be 300,000 in there for?
I don't
Not seen the drafts yet,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And I don't, and we got some numbers in there before we lost BSNA, but I don't know, let me try that again. We are reworking the numbers. We will all the way right up into the time that we submit them to you guys.
Right.
So
I mean-
I don't know if we put $300,000 in there. I don't know what we had last in BSNA. I have no idea.
Are you asking for this out of sales tax?
Contingency.
Out of your
Yeah.
fund? Contingency.
So basically, it's just gonna be less
There's money
carryover.
there. The money should, if it's there.
Just
I mean-
less carryover.
Spending it now or later.
Well, what I'm asking you, and you've already said it, I think, is when you do the 2024 budget, if it would have been 600, is now going to be 300. It was going to be 300, but now it's going to be 63.
Yes.
All other things being equal.
Yes.
Got it.
It will equal 300,000, whatever that is.
Got it. And you enlightened me on one other thing, is the upfitting or whatever, when you get a stock vehicle from a manufacturer, it doesn't stop there. It
No.
just, now you got to start tearing seats out and putting.
Right, it's about $4,000 per car for upfit and decommission. And then on top of that, if there's parts that don't fit, like the plastic molded seats that we have in the back seats of the transport vehicles, they don't always transfer to the next vehicle like these. None of these we'll have to buy all new seats for them because you get them and you have to drill holes and put them in the back, and they usually will not go to the next vehicle. So we get about 3 years out of them, and then we have to replace that whole back end. So it just depends on what will fit out of the other ones. The Durangos, we'll have to buy all new equipment for them because we don't have any to swap out with the Durango. But the Chargers, I'm hoping that 80% of everything will transfer over. The cages mainly that's the big ticket item, one of the big ticket items.
Okay.
Do we need a motion to approve the purchase then?
I don't know if you need a motion. It's just expenditure of money out of my contingency fund.
Yeah.
So when you bring the purchase order up, we can approve that, I guess, like we did today with the,
Or if you want to
Other
do,
stuff.
if you wanted to do, it, I have no idea. I don't know if you have to approve the purchase or using the contingency money. I think it's just a budget issue, so I think it, more or
Well, I
less,
mean,
I'm wanting to make sure you guys are.
we
good.
approve the
Sign off
purchase.
paperwork, those form, you know,
Because it's
fiscal
state
forms.
contract, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
We'll bring it up just like we did the public works vehicles right before you, right? So bring that up whenever you get that, I think, right?
He'll do a transfer, and so he'll bring the transfer up to you, and then we'll do a purchase order. There's not really any approval, you guys. Just as long as you give him direction, then you're okay with that, using next year's budget and this year.
We'll make a special note for that, we gotta watch him.
Well, you read about the city, you know, I mean, they're getting vehicles for the police department, and they're getting vehicles for, these are strange times.
You know, used to, when we would go down to get a vehicle, I could write a letter of intent and send it, and they would hold the vehicle forever. Now, Landmark Dodge has got a good rapport with us, so that we said we're gonna look at 6 of them, and he's holding those 6 for us. But in the past, I would send that letter of intent, and that was as good as gold, and now, they're like, yeah, okay, good for letter of intent, when are you gonna give me a PO, because there's 8 other agencies looking for these vehicles, so.
The F-550 that you approved for Public Works, they agreed to hold it for 1 day, and then we missed that opportunity and they sold it.
Yeah.
Do you have a quote that they can sign from Landmark today?
Yeah.
Maybe you guys can sign that, that's what we're gonna do with Public Works. That way it's secure until we can get them a PO. That way it's official, you guys are good with it, and you can just submit that quote back to Landmark.
Okay, yeah,
You
I'll
guys are good
have
with that.
I have Bowling
You're
read that
smart.
today.
I'll offer a motion to sign the quote with Landmark Dodge for the vehicles discussed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So is that this?
There you go.
No,
Oh, you'll get it to me, okay. Okay. Well, it's 9:25. Do we have anything else? We could sing happy birthday, yes?
I got something, just a quick announcement. Our annual safety day at the Public Works Department is tomorrow, and it's a full day of various presentations on anything that we can find that's of value from a safety aspect. We actually have Brian and Rick coming out to talk about security, cyber security, that kind of stuff. Sheila is gonna give a little presentation. What else do we have?
We've got Ramona from Ameren is gonna do gas line excavation, talk about that. We've got the Highway Patrol coming out to talk about, DOT regulations and safely, transporting equipment. We've got a whole variety of speakers. I'd be happy to send you the agenda.
You're welcome to come out. We're doing lunch.
Yeah, where lunch is being provided by one of our local vendors. They're gonna barbecue some burgers and hot dogs, so.
Boy, Alex, you need to go out there tomorrow.
Right around lunchtime.
Yeah.
So anyway, just to
Okay.
let y'all know that that's
Thank
taking
you.
place tomorrow.
Yep, might stop by then, check it
Yeah.
out.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so.
My God,
Let everybody go.
no closed session or anything.
Make a motion, we stand in recess until 4:30.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Hey, Brian.
Yeah, I'm coming to talk to you about that right now.
I'll get the quotes and I'll do the transfer.